All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to warn you ahead of time that this video is going to be pretty asteroid fight clubby. And I want to let you know, yesterday I went to urgent care because I had a weird lump growing on my stomach that had been growing for about a week. I don't like going to the doctor because it's usually expensive. And it was. Anyway, it was a staph infection. They drained it and they gave me antibiotics. So, and I always act extra weird on antibiotics. It's almost like I can feel and imagine the antibiotics fighting all the tiny little parasites. Okay, great. What we're watching here is the major heat wave that will be coming to the Pacific Northwest over this week, and it lasts for about 4 or 5 days. And about 50% of the people in the Pacific Northwest aren't used to these temperatures and do not own air conditioning. So it is probably definitely going to be a wild, wild ride for them this week. And there's a lot going on as the world continues to get more dangerous here and unstable. But you can see here, parts of the Pac Northwest will be hitting 110 degrees all the way through next Saturday. Sunday, over 100 degrees. So I regret to inform you that I'm putting out a full Asteroid Fight Club red alert all the way through July 10th. We are still looking out for a potential tropical disturbance around July 2nd, but right now it seems like atmospheric defense team is handling it well. Let's hope that holds. I don't know if you noticed, but since the middle of May and Jupiter joined Neptune and Pisces, there's been a lot of flooding in a lot of places, and that trend will probably continue all the way through July. Remember, in my opinion, the more exponential the heat increases over here, the more the flooding will increase over here. This is a look at the projected flooding over the next 7 days, and you can see there's a giant flood strip all the way from New Mexico up into Canada. And we've seen a lot of flooding, not only in the United States of America, but also in the United Kingdom. Mexico will probably see its share bit of flooding with Tropical Storm Enrique. Talking back to the heat wave, and some of the records projected to be broken, all-time records will be broken by as much as 7 degrees. That is quite a standard deviation, buddy. And so for the last week, while I had the welt on my stomach, I was like, what if I have stomach cancer? What if I'm going to die soon? It was a wild week. I didn't talk about it much. I am now. James Wilson, severe storms and flooding rains have taken their toll on the Midwest. Please be safe. More storms will flare again today into tonight. Be safe, my friends. And I regret to inform you, there's more severe weather to the week and to the month. But you probably already knew that because you are smart. Got a giant swath of possible severe weather today in the yellow, and then we'll have more tomorrow. Both areas hitting Texas, by the way. And if you look how large the green area rain spot is, that's pretty sizable. And then look at this one. This is for the day after tomorrow, and as you can see here, over 50% of the United States of America could get rain. You know, when I was a kid, they used to have crazy videos, and they called them Faces of Death. And now we call that the news and the internets. And so Florida has seen 5 or 6 inches of rain in the area where the building collapsed. I'm about to show footage of the collapsed building. If you don't want to see it, understandably, then you may want to click off now or fast forward about a minute or two. Over 159 people are still missing. At last count, this happened in Miami Beach, or Miami. It was about 4 blocks away from the Miami Convention. And to date, nobody knows what caused this. Theories are that it had been sinking a millimeter a year under the ground, so it was kind of like a slow sinkhole that caused it. But at this point, people have disputed that, and no one knows for sure. Of course, there are always conspiracy speculations around things like this, because it does kind of look like Building 7 in a way, if you remember Building 7. And I try to stay away from conspiracy theories, but I will say that 4 blocks down the road, the Bitcoin blockchain convention was happening. And so I don't know if any people rented places there. I do know that John McAfee died about 24 hours earlier. I do not mean disrespect to anyone. I'm just saying you will definitely see things get absolutely weirder, as we still do with the pandemic and all the stuff we were dealing with last year. And now we have a full-scale, what feels like crypto versus fiat war. And expect a lot of people to get caught in the crossfire. You know, it's weird that it happened almost 4 years to the date of the Grendel fire in Europe. I remember when that happened, I got so sad and freaked out. I jumped in my Mustang. I drove to the ocean. I walked along the beach picking up trash for a couple hours. And I cried and I cried and I cried. I finally went into a restaurant bar to get a strawberry daiquiri. And she was like, "We can't serve you. You're drunk." And I was like, "I haven't been drinking at all. I've just been crying." She was like, "You sound crazy. You need to leave." And so I guess I've become that much tougher or more callous since then, because we've had pretty much like crisis and disaster 9/11 every day. So yesterday after I went to urgent care, I went and saw my buddy's band play and gave thanks to all the people keeping civilization standing under the full moon, and to all the buildings that are still standing as well. Czech Republic seeing scenes of the apocalypse as major tornadoes rip through an area that doesn't usually get major tornadoes. I think I'm doing a pretty decent job of being your planetary defense commander, and have been for the last 8 years. But man, we need some teamwork. You know, we need cooler heads to prevail. But stay tuned and hang in there. Chris Brennan pointing out that Neptune stationed retrograde in Pisces today, and the U.S. government released a report saying that they're unable to explain 144 cases of unidentified flying objects. And Chris, first impression on quick read, this is a good first step and a potentially good move towards breaking down the stigma of reporting unidentified aerial phenomenon, especially given the admission that the other category is likely outside of classified USG aerospace tech development. I haven't had a chance to read the report yet. I plan on doing that today or tomorrow or the next day, depending on how I feel. And I can honestly say, because remember, I had the coronavirus in like November 2019, and I feel like I have been physically under attack in one way or another. And I always joke that like it feels like I'm getting hit with CERN beams or witchcraft since 2017. And so like I don't know. I think on some level we're all in that kind of zone now. And we are just kind of under attack from almost every angle, and have been for a couple of years. So we really need to figure out how to turn this tide. But who knows what's going to happen next, you know. All right. An overland hurricane in the Midwest dropped a whole lot of rain and caused major flooding in Missouri yesterday. No, it wasn't an actual hurricane. It was just a giant storm that looked just like a hurricane and left hurricane rain totals. This is like the one time that I'm grateful I don't have a girlfriend, asterisk, because usually for me, if I get sick or wounded when I have a girlfriend, they're usually like, "What? I'm disappointed. I thought you were Thor. Thor doesn't get sick or wounded." Like, well, if you watch the movies, or he gets wounded sometimes. 120-year record in jeopardy as Moscow sizzles under rare historic heat wave. I don't know. Part of me thinks it's kind of like the doom of Valeria from Game of Thrones, where we may get so greedy and mine so much, whether it be crypto or petroleum, that we may kill ourselves and destroy civilization. Who knows what's going to happen next? Stay tuned. It's an adventure. Sharks about to attack New York. The strawberry moon was pink in some places. Federal fire managers warn the country's resources are nearing full deployment, a declaration rarely made this early in the summer as the West bakes in record heat and drought. So I'll say again, we are on absolutely highest red alert asteroid fight club level in our history through the 10th of July. So be cool, stay on top of your game, and play defense and make good choices and try not to lose your shit on people that don't deserve it. Or just try not to lose your shit in general, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of UFOs, I haven't heard too many people mention the fact that China's using ion engines for its rockets, that it's been taking stuff to their brand new space station that they built overnight. So I know everyone's like, yay, Elon Musk is a genius because somehow, he's helping use more electricity, and electricity is generated by petroleum. Anyway, it's like we all know we need a new source of energy other than petroleum-generated electricity. And so I do think it's interesting that China is publicly using ion engines. And I've stated many times over the last few years that through 2023, we will be watching capitalism, communism, and socialism pretty much crumbling before our eyes. And what type of new system we come up with is up to us. I know that freaks people out to have to take personal responsibility for the collective future, but welcome to Asteroid Fight Club. Man, it broke my heart the day Katya got married. I healed, got over it though. Okay. But I wish her and her husband nothing but happiness. Taylor Trogdon the Burninator, after an impressive heavy rainfall event across central Missouri, Hinkson Creek at Columbia, Missouri has surpassed its all-time record crest. See, I'll say it again. This video is already 12 minutes, but we are on full Asteroid Fight Club, red alert, record level. But stay cool, keep a sense of humor. This is not the end of the world. It's just, where everything's breaking in front of our eyes because we've been sticking our dick in the dirt for the last 5, 10, 20 years. And so I definitely think we will see some severe flooding and severe weather as the Pacific Northwest gets hit with severe heat all week. It doesn't feel like a Friday. Am I the only one who feels like that? All right, so I didn't go pick up my antibiotics until like 20 minutes ago. And when I got there, he was like, because I got the strong antibiotic pills and the cream, and he was like, you got to wait 2 hours if you're eating dairy. If you're eating dairy, and I was like, yep, I ate 3 pieces of Swiss cheese right before I came in. I don't know, that made me laugh. I'm trying to get my sense of humor back. Hey, cut me some slack, buddy. Man, I hope romance returns, to my life and Earth, but all my lamenting about it does no good. It's wet in Colorado, and it's going to stay wet in Colorado. Strawberry colors with the strawberry moon. Russia had its highest number of coronavirus cases today. In India, and pretty much everybody, lots of people, are warning about the new versions of the highly infectious Delta variant of the coronavirus are spreading around the country. And I want to say, I think we could see the Delta variant mess up the USA as soon as the end of August. Definitely in the winter. And no matter what, this seems like volcano weather to me. But we're all still allowed to have our own opinions. Asterisk. You just can't voice them publicly. Unless you want to be shadow banned. And remember, we are starting a monsoon season in parts of the Southwest. This is Viva Las Vegas. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we had another coronal mass ejection. I don't think it's going to be Earth-facing or geo-effective, so this is not something you have to worry about. Even though the Pacific Northwest is getting most of the attention, and rightly so, New York and parts of the Northeast may be seeing heat index pushed to 100 or higher this week as well. Yeah, these are strange days, and I'm trying not to talk about cuddling, but it's not working. But that cat definitely is cute. But everybody knows that cat is just a shield against Dogecoin. Dangerous heat wave to torch the west. We already discussed this, right? And it's going to be super cool down here. See, the hot side is hot. The cool side is cool. We are McDLT. And some people are like, man, people under 40 don't get the McDLT reference. I'm like, nobody under 40 watches my videos. Okay. Merapi volcano in Java, Indonesia, had significant tall and dense phoenix clouds this morning. So if you had phoenix clouds on your 2020 bingo card, go ahead and mark that off. A strong 5.1 earthquake rattled Afghanistan early Friday in its capital. That's interesting. Heat records crumbling in Europe, Russia, amid scorching heat wave. So the Freon, I got a used car in March. The Freon went out in it like a week ago, or right when I drove back from DFW a month ago, I guess. I talked to my neighbor, and he said the cans of Freon are like $7, and you can put it in for $20. So that's good news. I know that when I got my car to go to pick up my antibiotics today, car's like 100 degrees, and it's not even that hot in Texas yet. Yeah, this is that storm from the Czech Republic, and you can watch it knocking down trees. It's a wild world we live in. I mean, here I am, still talking to you 17 minutes in. We barely scratched the surface of all the news that's happening. Hey, strange UFOs over China. Interesting, Monte. Very interesting. Did I already say we live in the most interesting times? Oh, yeah, fire season's going to be bad. And you can't really just buy cuddling. I mean, I know technically you could, but you can't really. Anywho, you have a great day. It may take me a few days to get back to normal. Antibiotics always mess me up. I haven't even started taking them yet. I'm taking them after this video because I had to wait 2 hours because I'd eaten Swiss cheese. I do want to say super duper thank you to Asteroid Fight Club, including my mom and Juan. Y'all are awesome, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you and everyone in Asteroid Fight Club. And I want to thank everyone for their prayers from our Asteroid Fight Club member Mike. He is out of surgery, and hopefully will continue to be doing well. And, let's just keep doing the best we can with what we've got and the place we are. And try and cut each other a little more slack, because we're all going through something lately. Or have, the last 2 years haven't really been the funnest time ever. Here we're looking at a Navy bomb test in the oceans off Florida. Yeah, everything's weird, man. All right. Let's everyone stay cool. And I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's try and have a good 4th of July. But we are definitely on full Asteroid Fight Club Red Alert through July 10th. Try to be a light in somebody's life, if you can, during the dark days and moments that we go through together. All right. Talk to you soon.